box to put the electromagnet inside. And this is just like a metal nut that we use so that it would attach. So when
So that's just the box, the actual sensor that you blow into is like totally different.
this is the sensor.
Yeah.
It's like connected to the magnet just on its own.
So you just kind of like breathe across that, or like,
You
'cause I
breathe
guess
into
generally
it.
you blow into like a straw or something, I don't know.
And we weren't able to like finish the like whole hardware part.
I think an actual like like police use, they have like a filter, I'm pretty sure, inside the device which filters out like vapor, and which obviously you only have access to for this.
Yeah.
So this is just the sensor.
Okay.
Were there any other questions?
You show the block diagram of your program? Yeah, you can switch that.
Not a complex. So here's where we get the input from the sensor, and also, like I mentioned before, the switch that is supposed to be closed or open, depending on if someone's breathing on it. So we get the voltage from the sensor, and this is the number of samples that we take at a time, and we take an average, just to try to make sure there's no quick fluctuations or something. So when we take that average, and depending on if the switch is closed or not, it's connected to 5 volts, so we have a greater than symbol here. So when it is greater than, this is true, and then this will execute this. If it's false, then it just outputs the voltage to the electrode. When it's true, depending on the threshold that we set here manually, since we can't really, based on the threshold, the input from the sensor dictates whether it will be in the under the legal limit case.
So you only have one analog input channel, right? One analog input, and you have one analog output.
There's 2 analog inputs. This is over here for AI1 and AI0. One from the sensor and one from the switch. Because the switch is in between the sensor and 5-volt source. So when it's closed, it'll input 5 volts, and we will check if it's like greater than 0 or not in the PF. And that dictates whether we're like looking, if we decide to compare the sensor voltage to the threshold or not.
It's basically the switch at first to detect if you are actually breathing on it or not. If you are actually breathing on it, and it will just judge again by the sensor if you are drunk or not. So there are actually 3 cases in the module.
Okay, so you mentioned you had some issues with the sensor. The sensor you are using is a gas sensor MQ3.
Yes.
It's sensitive to alcohol. My question is, what's the detection limit of that sensor? Or in another word, what's the range of the sensor, sensing range?
So when we were trying to like determine what the voltage output would be for if it was the legal limit for the blood alcohol, which is 0.08 grams per milliliter. Again, it like depended on how much we heated it.
Yeah.
When we had it heated, like I think we actually had it heated 24 hours one time. We didn't get much time to experiment with it, but when we had it heated completely,
The highest value we got is like 4.2 volts.
Yeah, I guess, my question was in terms of ppm of alcohol, what's the lowest limit you can detect? So you need to match the detection limit of your sensor with the regulation from law enforcement, what kind of legal limit of alcohol from the breath, right? You need to match these two. Otherwise, maybe your detection limit is not enough to detect this legal limit. So that's my question. Have you considered this issue?
Could you phrase that question?
Yeah, I mean, what's the what's the kind of legal limit of alcohol concentration from driver's breath?
So the legal limit is 0.08 grams per milliliter.
Okay, so can your sensor detect that? That's my question.
Like this is some of the readings that we got when we were like.
Yeah, we're trying to put only one drop of the alcohol in a certain competent and put the sensor on the top of it and try to measure the 0.08 gram over. Yeah, that's the limit of the, and the voltage differs, but if we heat it up enough, it's like around 4.2 volts. Yeah.
Any other questions? No? Okay, so you can go ahead and demonstrate.
So
I need
since
to-
we're not gonna actually like drink some alcohol here, I'm just like he's going to rinse with Listerine real quick, and it still like gives a reading. So when the switch, so this shows whether the switch is closed or not. It's off, so the switch is open. So it's just going to be outputting. It's just outputting a voltage to the electromagnet.
So I might have missed it, but how exactly are y'all testing the alcohol content?
Alcohol content.
What's that?
What?
How exactly are you measuring the, like what kind of alcohol are you using, or?
So it senses ethanol.
You're using mouthwash. Oh, mouthwash, okay.
Oh yeah, my partner just left to go
Sorry.
rinse
Yeah,
out.
I missed that part.
Sorry. So right now we're trying to have like one output from one power source from here, but it's still complaining that it can't power the. It's complaining that it can't power the sensor. I guess we need to get both power sources from here. Wait.
Like that. I feel like I can myself.
We have about 30 seconds left.
Awesome. You can see how finicky this is to work with.
Maybe I can extend a couple of minutes for you guys, but we cannot go, too long before,
Okay.
after that. It's already 10:25.
It's still.
I heard it.
Using the power.
No. Sorry, is there another hazard?
connects to. So I would be shy to use an extra. Sorry guys, your time is up. We have to let out groups to present. Maybe you can try to debug when you see the